What's up, fifth grade? All right, here we go. Time for another math lesson. So we are on lesson 89, and you will find that on page 659 in your books. So let's go ahead, grab out those math books, and get them opened up to that page. While you're opening up to that page, I'm going to go over some of our objectives for today. These are the goals. These are what we want you guys to learn today in math. So let's rock and roll. Objective number one, hopefully by the time we're done with this lesson, you guys will be able to use number lines to be able to add integers. Remember, integer is just a fancy way to say numbers. Now, with integers, they could be negative, or they could be positive. So, integers, don't get scared. I know it's a scary word. Don't be scared. All right, here we go. The second goal is that we'll be able to identify the opposite number of an integer. So basically, actually right here we go, guys. We already did it. So the opposite of -1, +1. See how that works? Pretty easy, right? Okay, sweet. Hopefully you're already with us now. If you're not there, if you're not ready, go ahead and hit pause on the video. And then once you're ready, go ahead and hit play again. If you're already ready, rock and roll. Good work. All right, so new concept. Let's check this out. So in lesson 88, we learned that the idea of positive and negative electrical charges can be used to add integers. Another way to do that is with a number line. Here, let me get rid of this real quick. So remember, we did this, was that yesterday? Yesterday, we did it yesterday. Where we had the minus signs like this and the plus signs. And we crossed them off and said, ooh, we have one plus sign, so it's a positive number. Okay, cool. Remember that? Like, that was yesterday. Hopefully you didn't forget. All right, cool. So, pretty easy, right? Now we're going to do it with a number line. Now, we're talking about thermometers here in the lesson. So, a thermometer is a number line. It's just a vertical number line. So if we're at 0 degrees right here, we got our little scale going up there. Awesome. Let's try this out. So it says the thermometer example of a number line. So if the temperature is 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Fahrenheit right there at the line. Let's see. If the temperature decreases 3 degrees, so it goes down 3 degrees. So we got -1, -2, -3. So now we're at -3. And then the new temperature, if we went down another -3, 1, 2, 3, down here is going to be negative. So we went down -3, then we went 3 more, it's going to be negative what? What do you think? Say it real loud. Boom, -6. You got it. Go ahead and turn the page. Now we are on to page 660. Now, this first thermometer, if you look in your book right there, it shows you how we started at 0, we went down -3, and then 3 more, ended up at that -6. Now, again, suppose the temperature is 0, and this time, it goes down 3 degrees, so it comes down here, but then it increases 3 degrees, so then we got to go back up 3 degrees. Where does that take us? Johnny, where's that going to take us, bro? Absolutely, it's going to take us right back here to 0 degrees. So that is important. So we had the -3, we had a +3, and those are opposite numbers. Now, if you ever add opposite numbers, super key, super important. Whenever you add opposite numbers, the answer will always be 0. All right, here we go. So if I had +8 plus a -8 equals 0. There we go. Happy face. Get a little schnoz on that dude. Get some hair going on. Give him some pupils because he looks kind of creepy. All right, sweet. There you go. It's always going to be 0. Positive and its negative, or its opposite, is always going to be 0. Notice with the third thermometer here, they show the sum of 2 addends that have different signs. So the beginning temperature is, again, 0. So if we start at 0, let's start this over. So we got our scale here, our thermometer. So we start at 0. All right, let's see. The beginning temperature is 0, the temperature increases 2 degrees. So we went up 2 degrees. So we're at 2, so plus 2. Now the temperature is going to drop 7 degrees. So we got to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've gone down 7, and where does that take us? We got -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Awesome. So takes us all the way down to -5. Now, for example 1, we're going to go over this, but with a horizontal number line. Let's check it out. So, we got our number line. We start with the 0. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But these ones are negatives. Awesome. So, example number 1 says we're going to add 8 plus, gotta go one more. There we go. So we're gonna add 8. So we start at 0, and we're gonna go all the way to 8. So add 8. But then once we get there, then we are going to subtract 6. So we have a plus 8 plus a -6. So that -6 is going to pull us back this way. So let's change. So here comes this -6. We've got to count back 6 spaces. Where's that going to take us to? Grayson, what do you think, bro? Where is it going to take us? Absolutely. So we shoot all the way back here. That's going to take us to 2. So a positive 8 plus a -6 equals 2. Remember, if you don't get it, go ahead and hit that rewind button a few seconds. Walk through that one more time. So you got a positive 8 minus the 6, or plus that -6 pulling us back 6. That takes us to 2. We end up with a 2. All right, let's do example number 2. Let me get rid of all this real quick. Uh-oh. I broke it. Wouldn't be the first time, right, kids? There we go. All right, here we go. Example number 2 says we got a -1. -1 plus a -7. So let's check it out. So we start off at 0. We're going to go back that -1. And then we got to add a number right here. To -8. All right, sweet. So we go back -1. That guy right there, check, check, got it. Now we got to add that -7. So we got to go back this way 7 more. And that's going to take us right here to our friend, -8. So basically, they have the same sign being negatives. If we just add those two guys together, 7 plus 1 is 8. They're both negative, so it's going to be a -8. It's pretty easy, right? So that takes us all the way back there. Now, let's check out example 6. Example 6 was that key point I just talked about. When you have a number and its opposite, and what happens when you add that number and its opposite, remember, its answer is always going to be what? Say it nice and loud so I can hear you. I heard someone say it. So at least one of you guys out there said it. I heard you. You said 0. Good job. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So let's go here. Let's switch to blue. All right. So we got a -6 plus a +6. So we're going to start off at 0. We're going to go back -6. Then we're going to go all the way back +6. And where does it take us? I should have drew my arrow a little better. All right, there we go. It takes us right back there to 0. Just like that one person yelled it out. Good job. So remember, a number and its opposite added together is always going to be 0. All right, let's see. Boom, bada, boom. Ooh, example 4, super duper easy. Check this out, guys. It says, what is the opposite of -4? I really wonder. Right? Seriously. The opposite of negative 4 would be 4. Wow, super hard, right? I know. Mind blown. All right, cool. Now, B says, what is the opposite of the number 9? Yeah, I know. It's super easy, right? Okay, so the opposite of a positive 9 would be a, you said it, negative 9. There we go. All right, rock and roll. Turn the page. Now we're on page 662. Yes. Awesome. We got our number line up here. We're going to do a couple of these together. Number line. Make this one a little longer. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. There's one too many. All right, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9. All right. 6, 7, 8, 9. Sweet. All right, let's check this out. So A says, what is a negative 2 plus a positive 1? So negative 2 plus a positive 1. Don't let the extra addition sign freak you out. It's okay. It's okay. Just let that extra plus sign, it's just showing you that it's a positive 1, which we already know, but the book just wants to make sure that you know it too. It's a positive 1. All right, so check this out. We start at 0, we go back to negative 2. Now, we got to take care of this positive 1. So we're going to go back this way, plus 1. Obviously, if we go back one spot from this negative 2, that takes us to negative 1. Pretty easy, right? You guys are smart. I know you're getting this. So that was A. Let's look at B. We'll change colors for B. Make it blue. B. So with B, we got negative 4 plus a negative 6. Notice they both have the same symbol. So we're starting off at 0. We go back to negative 4. Now we got to go back 6 more. So check it out. We go all the way back 6 more. And where does that take us? 4 plus 6 is 10. They're both negative, so it's negative 10. Cool? Hopefully I'm getting thumbs up out there. So are we getting it this way? Are we kind of like, kind of getting it? Or like 50-50 getting it? Or is it, oh my goodness, I don't get it at all? All right, which one is it? Hopefully you're like here to there somewhere. Somewhere in this range is good. Down here, not good. All right, so if you have questions, once again, shoot me a quick email. Have mom, dad email mr.poole@wcss.org, or have you can email Mrs. Phillips too. Be like, hey, I really didn't get question 6. Can you help me on that one on the next video? And I'll try to hook those up for you guys. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead. So E, F, G, and H, those ones, they want you to try to do mental math. So you think, with E, we got negative 6 plus 7. So E, we got negative 6 plus that positive 7. Okay, so think about that. If we start off negative 6 and we jump forward 7, that's going to take us to a positive, right? Notice my positive number is bigger, so my answer is going to be positive. Awesome. So how much bigger is that 7 than the 6? Obviously, guys, come on, man. We've been doing this since kinder, right? 7 and 6. It is one number bigger. So it's going to be a positive 1. So let's try out, let's do G. So G says we got 7 plus a negative 10. All right, sweet. Let's check this out. Which number is bigger? The negative 10, right? 10's bigger than 7. So since my bigger number is negative, that tells me my answer is also going to be negative. So we can already put the negative mark on there, and then we're going to go from here. Okay, so I got 10 and I got 7. What's the difference between 10 and 7? So with the number line, mentally we jump forward 7, but then we got to come back 10. So that's going to take me negative how many more? So 7, 8, 9, 10, 3. Sweet, so our answer is a negative 3. Hopefully we are good there. Let's look at I. I don't think I need to write it up here. You guys can just read in the book with me as we go. We can work it out. Now, I says the opposite of a positive number would be what kind of number? Ben, what do you think? Louder, Ben. Come on, I can't hear you. I know you can talk, boy. Come on, let me hear you. All right, yes. The opposite of a positive number would be a negative number. Awesome. So the opposite of a negative number would just be the flip-flop of that would be a positive number. Remember, if you have a number plus its opposite, it's always going to equal 0, right? Cool. Let's see. We don't need to do LMNO because it's just the opposites. What's the opposite of 0? That one's kind of a tricky one. It's just 0. You don't put negative 0 because it doesn't exist. So it's just 0. Trick question. All right, check out number 2, guys. Get out your homework sheet real quick, and I'm going to go over a couple of these questions with you guys before we peace out for today. All right, so number 2, it says each finger on the human hand is formed of 3 bones, except for the thumb, which is formed by 2 bones. So we got 3 bones, 3 bones, 3 bones, 3 bones, 2 bones. Hopefully we got that. It says the palm contains 5 bones. So we got 5 here. Okay, so we got 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, and then 5, right? Okay, let's see. One leading to each finger. Not counting the bones in the wrist, how many bones does the hand have? So, let's think about that. So we got 4 fingers times 3 bones each, plus 1 finger times 2 bones, and then plus, what did it say we had in the hand? 5, I think? All right, well, let's work this out. What's 4 times 3? Someone yell it out. There we go. Nice. 12. And then 1 times 2 would be 2. And then 5 plus 5 just be adding that 5 right there. All right, 12 plus 2. And then that number plus 5 should give you 19 bones. And got a little crazy there. Don't forget to label, because remember, labels have to point off. So you want to make sure you have that. Cool. Check out number 4 real quick. It says, what is a product of 2/3 and its reciprocal? Remember, reciprocal, just flipping the fraction upside down, guys. So if I have 2/3, remember product, remember this number 4. So product, telling us to multiply, right? Product. Sweet, that means multiply. And reciprocal is this guy just flipped upside down, so it's going to be 3/2. Go ahead and work that out. If it ends up being the same number over itself, don't forget to turn it into the number 1. Don't want to leave it improper on this one. Sweet. I'm going to jump to number 8 because it has to do with the reciprocals also. And I just want to help you with 8A. Now, 8A is talking about the reciprocal of the number 6. So you got to remember, what do you have to do with the number 6 first before you turn, before we find the reciprocal? Don't we have to turn it into a fraction first? There we go. So how do I turn 6 into a fraction? That is the key question. Let's see, who could I ask in here? Josiah. Josiah, if I had the number 6, how do I turn that into a fraction, bro? All right, tell me. Let me say it real loud so your mom knows you're doing your homework right now. Absolutely, there you go. Boom, you put a 1 underneath it. Now we can find the reciprocal. Now we do our flipsy-dipsy-doo and flip that puppy upside down. Awesome. 8's good. Let's see. Ooh, I think I'm going to help you with 9 because dividing the fractions, I know that's still a tricky one. I'll do A and B with you guys, and then I'm going to make you do C on your own. Okay, let's rock and roll. So 9A. So A says, what is 5 divided by 3 over 7? So remember, friends, let's turn this thing into a fraction to start off. Boom, 5 over 1, that's simple, right? Now remember, when we're dividing fractions like this, or a fraction from a whole number, the first number, that fraction just comes straight down. Does not change, just comes straight down. Now remember, our division symbol does change as it slides down here because it comes multiplication, right? Now, our 3/7 is gonna do, our little flipsy do, we're gonna use the reciprocal to multiply. So that gives us 7 over 3. Sweet, now we gotta use multiply. 5 times 7, pretty easy, 35. 1 times 3, pretty easy also right there, right? That's 3. Now, how many times does 3 go into 35? 3 goes into 3 one time, and then 3 goes into 5 one time. And then, let's see, that would be 35 minus 33. I think that leaves us 2 left over, right? So the 2 goes on top, and we divide it by 3, so that 3 goes on the bottom. So 11 2/3. Check that out. Write that down. Copy that down if you need to. Pause the video. Pause. All right. I'm going to put B over here. Hopefully we've got enough room to do it. So B says, what is 1/6 divided by 2/3? So we got 1/6 divided by 2/3. Now, first number, same thing we did over here. Just comes straight down. Now, remember what we did with our division sign as it came down. It became multiplication. And then we flip this guy upside down, 3 over 2. And we multiply straight across. So 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Now, that looks like a great answer, but I can't leave it that way, guys, because remember, 3 goes into 3, and 3 also goes into 12, so I gotta reduce that fraction. So let's divide both these guys. Divide both of them by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, and then 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 1/4. Awesome. Sweet. Remember on number 13. 13. On number 13, you guys, it's not 100 times 2. It's 100 squared. So that means 100 times 100. Don't forget. And I wanted to say, like on number 14, your remainder, you can write it as a fraction if you want to. Uh-oh. Insulin pump's talking to me, guys. You can write it as a fraction if you want to, but you might end up with a fraction that needs to be reduced. This one you wouldn't on number 14. Or you can also just write it with the R, like R2 or R6 or R7 or whatever the remainder might be. If the question tells you to write the remainder as a fraction, then I would write it as a fraction. But if it is just a normal division problem, you can usually just put R17 or whatever the remainder is. Cool? Cool? Good? We good? Awesome? Sweet. Did I tell you guys I miss you guys today? Because I miss you guys. I hope you guys had fun over spring break. I ran out and I rode dirt bikes a little bit. It was pretty sweet. It was fun. I didn't crash. And you know, social distancing. I was several feet away from everybody because we were on motorcycles. So you can't get that close on motorcycles, so it works. All right, just taking some insulin. Don't mind me. Just like being in class, guys. Although I don't know who I'm going to send to give me an orange juice when I'm about to pass out. That might get tricky. All right, here we go. So turn to page 664, and I want to go over at least one of these questions, maybe 2 with you guys. Number 27, remember, this guy right here. Yes. So on number 27, when you see this dude, this is the square root sign. That's saying what number times itself equals that number. So like 2 times 2 would be 4. You know, 5 times 5 is 25. 7 times 7 is 49. So what times what equals 100? Cool? All right, I'll let you guys go ahead and go on that one. And then my last one I wanted to talk to you guys about was number 30. Check out number 30 with me, guys, and gals. Sorry, it's just natural habit. The land area of Fort Worth is 139.2 square miles greater than the land area of Denver. All right, so we got Fort Worth. Here he is, big Fort Worth. And he is normally bigger than Denver. And he is normally 139.2 square miles bigger than Denver to get up there. I'm gonna put this line up here. There we go. So you got to go up that high to get to, here's Denver, here is Fort Worth. So Denver to Fort Worth, you got to jump up this much, right? Okay, cool. All right, and then it says the land area of Denver is 67.6 square miles greater than the area of Honolulu. Okay, so we're going to give poor little Honolulu, although let's be real, where do we want to be? Do you want to be in Denver? Do you want to be in Fort Worth? Or would you rather be in Honolulu? I should do a little like questionnaire on Google. Yeah, which one would you rather be at? That's one. I know it's smaller, but I'd rather be there. All right, cool. So this guy right here was 67.6 square miles bigger than Honolulu. Now it tells us that the land area of Fort Worth is 292.5 miles squared. So if I know how big this guy is, this is what we are trying to find out. This is our question. We need to find out how big Honolulu is. So if I know this guy's this big, and this one is 139.2 square miles smaller, what am I going to do with those two numbers? What do you think? What should I do, Reagan? What should I do? What should I do? Yeah, that's right. Subtract. Cool. So we got 292.5 minus 139.2. Sweet, there's 3. We borrow from that 9, making it 8. That becomes 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. And then 8 minus 3 is 5. And 2 minus 1 is 1. And don't forget to drop that decimal straight down. Boom. Now we just found out how big Fort Worth is. So we had 153.3 square miles. Now I know that Honolulu is 67.6 square miles less. So that means we need to take this number and subtract here. Now don't forget to label. You can write it like this, miles squared. Or you could write it like this, square miles. Either one of those works. I'm going to make you guys work that out though. So go ahead, write it down, copy it down, and get that puppy finished up. Awesome. Once again, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead, email those to me, shoot it out, and I'll try to address them in the next day's video. If something comes up and maybe I got your message a little too late, I'll work it into one of the videos somewhere. All right, hope you guys are having a fun April Fools. All right, see you guys later.